About 3 years ago, I was trying to figure out what we could do because a lot of physicians were texting information to each other, to nursing staff, or maybe there's a lot of different workflows that kind of fall in there. And started asking some of my friends to have the same job, what do you do for texting? And they said, well, we solved it. We wrote a policy that said we don't allow texting, so we don't have a problem anymore. So now, wait a minute, you can't stick your head in the sand, right? So I think you still have the problem, you're just not addressing it in a way that's good for the user. So it's good administratively, I guess you're covered. We had the Cortext, we already had the communication director component from Forward Advantage, so now it's like, let's utilize those two tools together, which I love, so that's extra value for me, right? I can get full value out of what I have and more. So instead of leaving a phone message for a physician who's in seeing a patient, that doctor comes back, returns the message, that nurse is now on break or in a room or something unavailable, and they play phone tag and everyone gets a little bit upset about it. This is just instant communication. We're not always going to be in front of a computer as a clinician, very mobile people, very busy, and so the things are important, and so if something important happens, I want to know right away. And I think that's drove our need to look at a solution that would let us get this instant message of what's important, not too many things, because that'll cause fatigue, and we work hard to not have that happen in our normal environment, but just things that are very important to a clinician, to their workflow, or to the care of the patients that they're taking care of. That information that we have already, we know it's in Meditech, but how do we get that out? And that's where Forward Advantage came in with Communication Director. They're already capturing that real time. So they've got the ADT information, if it's going to be the admission process that we're looking at, or the discharge. And then probably more relevant, I think more important, is with the smart routes we have with all the lab values and everything. So we can set up uniquely by physician what's important to them, so it's not kind of all or nothing for people, that we can get that clinical information in a real-time environment and then use the already secure communication conduit with Cortext and send that message out. So it really is it's been a nice solution. I think it's a great idea. Say if I'm a primary care provider, I just want to know if one of my patients has been in the ER, has gotten an admission. I may not be taking care of them in the hospital because the hospitals are going to do that, but I still want to know that just for follow-up care afterwards and that continuity of care process. So it's very important information, and we can send that, or are sending that. That's one of our pilots. So if a critical lab result comes back, that clinician wants to know right away. If they're logged into Meditech, they'll see it right away because that also bubbles up for them on their status board. But if they're not logged in and they're between floors or between patients or whatever, they can act immediately because they'll get that information. And that's what they've asked for, is what can we do so that I can just make best use of my time but know I'm delivering the best care I can deliver.